Party people, what a crazy week we had. All right, I'm going to try to pack in as much information as possible into this video and keep it short, but there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. As you can see, we've been looking at this. There's been no movement in the dark pool on the 50-minute. That is a significant change for the S&P 500, and tech's just been selling ever since, Bank of Japan. However, this is either one of these guys here, or the bottom could be in now. For next week, write this down. I got early high on Monday, early low on Tuesday, early low on Wednesday, early low on Thursday, early high on Friday. Interpret that how you will. That drop on Friday, end of day, usually follows through on Monday unless we gap up. So if we gap up a little on Monday, that could be a gap that is left there since it's on Monday. Okay? If we gap down, we're gonna keep selling, and I'll tell you exactly where. But there was no real bidding on the S&P, but there was bidding on QQQ, so it could be a part of a rotation. All right, I'll keep watching this for spikes as we go. Now, let me pull up SPY because I want you to put in some levels that I looked up for us. Now, going back to last spring, why? Because last time we were around here, it was summer and spring. So, I want you to put in alerts. Well, not even alerts. You can just put in, horizontal rays. Why? Because I found these huge dark pool levels prints from the spring. One is at 429.64. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in. This is a huge level. There's a lot. There's about almost $7 billion right there. Okay, another one is 425.93. Right there. Shit, I'll do it with you here. What did I say? 425.93. That is almost $8 billion. And then we have one that is almost $11 billion at 421.80. That is why, unless we have a black swan event, I don't think that we are going to 412. It is possible, but we need, Kevin and Joe not to reach a deal. So it's no coincidence we kind of stopped right there. Okay, I know. I had this red line going down here. It goes to almost 412 and then bounces. So straight line drop, yes. Is it possible? Sure. However, I do think that at this point, unless we get a bounce on Monday out of the gate, I'm going to have to close my gap lottos that I threw on there in the day and forget about that. If we can gap up, I'll keep them. Okay, looking at the chain, I caught a great price on them. I kind of couldn't resist. Anything can happen. If not, let's switch over to SPX here. If so, if no gap up at this point, we're going down here. No doubt in my mind. And again, I said in my last video, we have, let's say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Why am I doing that? Well, I'm measuring the days, I'm measuring the gap, I'm measuring the trend line. Is it possible that we go to what, 424, 423 on SPY next week? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. That would mean that the RSI needs to absolutely freaking die. It's at 14 on this. And again, last time it was this low. We kind of have to go back to the bear market again. So I have this trend line that goes from October low, hits March low. Is this the destination? Most likely, yes. And then a ferocious rally end the year up, okay? But let's focus on next week. So we got this gap and we got that gap. Monday, we'll know pretty early if we're getting a dead bounce or not. If not, Tesla 215s. Okay, I know it sounds a little crazy, but that's where it's gonna go. Okay? LMT 401. Okay? Now, some other stuff that I've shown you in the past, since you're on the train. I mean, look, those Tesla puts end of day on Friday ran 170%. Okay, and that was a swing, and I just held them. So, here. This finds the bottom. Every time we bottom out, this pops up, as you can see, and then once it pops down, we rally every single time, pretty much, at least short term. So that's what it did on that, and now it's elevated again. So if it spikes down, the bottom's in. If it can still go higher, meaning we can definitely go see this. And if this gap doesn't hold, the next would be 420, 412. Are we going there right now? Not in my opinion. That would make it too easy. Also, I've showed you this model before. I think we're dealing with a situation kind of like that one in early September. But obviously we lost that low, so I do think we go lower. Question is, and if I knew, I would have freaking pool ported end of day Friday. If I knew if we're I don't think we feel this gap. I don't. Not now. But we can get to the gap and reject it. That's the whole play of my Thursday calls. I'm just looking for like 100, 150, maybe 200%. I don't think they will go into the money. A big telling factor on SPX daily will be if the 9 and the 21 go underneath the 89. If that happens, we're looking for another huge flush down, because that's usually what happens, okay? A huge flush down, like a la this, and that sends us to 412. Do I think we go there? No, but it is possible. So I know all of Twitter, surprisingly, is looking for a dead cat bounce. I kind of want that too, because that was a big freaking sell. However, looking at the TTM, it can kind of scoop like this too. Okay? But I do have to say that looking at the RSI, can it stay oversold? Yes. Can the MACD go negative? Yeah, it can go negative. It has not gone negative yet, but it certainly is possible for it to do that. That would be a complete black swan limit down event. So we are due for a bounce. Will I short that bounce? Yes. Now, I know we don't have Todd on the train anymore, even though he watches the YouTube videos. Remember, I showed you this. We switched it after the sports almanac started working after May, June, July, and half of August. This is clearly what happened. So the dead cat bounce is going to be followed with some volatility. I'd say this looks like $2 to $5 SPY days, and then we're gonna have a early bottom in October, and then a absolutely insane rally. And I've been saying that all year. So it's gonna be choppy. Okay, it's gonna be choppy. So for you Full Moon Circle members, keep using that indicator I shared, and I'll share a new one on Tuesday that I found that's gonna make your life even more awesome. All right, this week my main watch is Oxy. And why is that? Because nothing has changed with the oil situation, but Oxy sold from 67 down to 62. Okay, really fast. Chart looks like absolute dog shit, but look at the stow. Once this starts going, this can reap like $3-4. So Oxy, okay, that's not really telling me anything at all. Okay, but at least you now have your SPY levels to the downside. To the upside, it's fairly simple. Okay, you have this 36 level, and then you have a gap. Okay, and then after that you have this trend line, and you got the 9 right there. I would be really surprised if we get above and inside the gap this week, but certainly possible. But I'm not feeling it at all. Bitcoin doing that. Let's check the NAMO. Interesting. This setup is kind of reminiscent of this and this, so I'll keep certainly has the possibility to curl up and backtest that. So again, that's kind of indicating we get a dead cat. But again, the seasonality says small dead cats, but we're not gonna go much lower until October, the second week of October, and that's when you long. That is when you long. That's when you buy your freaking leaps. That's when you buy your end of the year shit and you leave it and you don't watch it, nor do you touch it. Capiche? Got me? Okay? You need to marinate the freaking meat. Okay? Because again, look at this. It is getting to like seriously oversold territory, and it can still chop around and come down, and ooh, here we are. And we can even have a fake breakdown of this. Look, the fact of the matter is, if we get a breakdown of this, the mother of all trend lines, the October and March low, then yeah, we can reevaluate and seeing if the shit hits the fan. But looking at where we are and with the indicators where they are, can we go down to it? Yeah, that's that 4,200 spot. 412 would be a false breakdown. Then we're gonna go. Okay, we're going to go. Okay, yes, did I want this to continue up to here? Yeah, but that was the lower high, and we have to respect this trend line. And we're probably gonna go from here to here, and then we're gonna go, and then we're gonna find out end of year where I doubt this is going this high, but it could definitely go and make a double top. So for it to reach 4,600 and have a tremendous rally, it needs to go down. Okay, wonderful. VIX, whatever. Okay, that's a daily thing. I'm not like looking at it more than that. US 10-year. Okay, so again, the dead cat bounce theory is supported by the 9 crossing the 50. Okay, has it done it before and reversed? Yes, but we could have a dead cat bounce. We could also have this be a head and shoulders. We had a head and shoulders here. Could this be a bigger head and shoulders? Yeah, definitely. The world needs it because the system is messed up, as you know. The Dixie here after hours, that's why, we sold a lot. We caught that huge freaking short last week. It was wonderful, all that. Do I think that there's a bunch of insane plays waiting for us? Yeah, I do. And I am going to I'm going to have some fun next week, chill, and see if I could catch one of these bangers. Market risks at 290. Now, here's the problem with the market, right? And that is Apple. You cannot sell more and Apple go lower than 170. Can't happen, not in 2023. So what could Apple do here? What does this look like? Okay, it looks like a ugly ass little W, right? But not yet. So put another good indicator of, like, you know, depending upon when we get there, since Apple has the history of flirting with these levels, do I think we fill this fair value gap? I don't. Another level is here. All right, so let's take 170 plus 43. You got a double bottom there from last spring. You also have a level here at 172.03. I would check that first, and then this one. Below that, we're talking tankathon again. And will Apple fill this gap here? Yes, it will. Probably end of year, Christmas time. So keep an eye on it, okay? UPST is still my number one candidate for long-term swing in the end of year, okay? I love this setup, the cup and the handle. Okay, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is gonna go, but how low is it gonna go? Put a buy here at 406. Could it come down $10 next week? Yeah. Am I gonna buy it? You betcha. Several reasons. Look at that. Beautiful. Shoulder, head, come down here. Oh, okay. Carvana. All right, I haven't played it for a while. Guess what? I'm about to play it with loop. So you see this range I got here. You got supply and demand, and oh, we rejected from that area on the 5 minute, right? All right. The daily, oh, looking gross, but look at the stow. Okay, so as soon as that stow, shit, what did I do? As soon as that stow starts turning up, I'm in it. Okay, I'm gonna be in it. I think 40 is a great spot to scoop it up. Here's the 1 hour. Can it go down to 37? Sure. If I can get it at 38 or something, great. But put an alert at 38.98. Good for a bounce, okay? And another level that's gonna be even better is 37.50. And then I'm in it. This is gonna go end of year. I know it. Tesla, once we get to here, buy long term. Now, very interesting. It could chop around and do all kinds of shit, and then that earnings, I mean, it's going to absolutely fly. So again, it can chop around. It can have, you know, $7 days, but once it gets to that gap, everyone's gonna buy it. Okay, wonderful. I think that covers it a lot. For next week, my tactic is I want to catch some directional moves. I'll be doing some zero DTEs. I'll let you guys know when I jump in and when I jump out if it's unclear. I know that, you know, it might have been a surprise for people that I snagged 170% on Tesla on Friday, but I bought that as a hedge. Not even a hedge, no, that was NVIDIA calls. I bought the Tesla puts on Thursday because it was just a logical place of it going to 4 or 245. So now it's under the 89. Okay, and I think looking big picture at it, looking at the MACD and this, the logical spot for it to hit pre-earnings is here, and then it's going to have one mega bounce. What type of bounce? This type of bounce. Okay, remember when it was at, down here? Okay, so Tesla, Christmas, UPST, all this stuff. All right, guys. Again, I'll be next week supplying you with, or me or Doug, with the range at open. I'll be doing the 5% challenge a little bit more actively this week, since we're gonna also be playing some upside as opposed to last week. And then I'll be doing futures here and there, and I want to see what weekly range we have, and the kind of ride some swings, because the puts I bought on, I think, Wednesday, once we lost the SPX trend line. Let's revisit that real quick. So I bought them here, right? Remember? Let's go on the 1 hour. So I was like, if we lose the trend line, I'm shorting it. And then he retested, and then he lost it, and that's when I entered, right? And I forget what they were, but I sold them for $250 a piece per contract. And they ended the week at almost 8. Okay, did I get 200% in gains? Yeah, I did. But I could have taken 600. And now looking at this, look what we got here. We got this TTM curl, even the price is going down. That's kind of what I'm like expecting next week, unless we have a severe gap and go. All right, guys. Love yourself, love your family. I hope this video was informative. As of next week, I'm gonna change my YouTube settings so that the YouTube is only for the members of the train. And again, because TikTok is being a little shithead, I can't post the link on there. So if you know anyone that wants to join the train, what you need to do is either ask me for the link, or you can go to the README section. Actually, sorry, not the README section. You can go to the membership section and copy the Linktree link and send it to them. Why? Because I guess TikTok doesn't want me sharing financial info regarding the 10-year yield or talking shit about Joe and Bill and his burgers. Who knows? In the meantime, let's prepare to have a awesome Q4. And I wanted to show you guys this too. So you can go here, put on moon phases. Okay, that's what the indicator is called. And then you can clearly see what I'm always yapping about, right? Okay. So usually we've been pumping. That was Bank of Japan. So, this was Bank of Japan. I'll always remember that was freaking top right there. But we pump into the full moon, and I would think that we do the same. And new moon is a sell, as you can see, usually, and has been for quite a while. Perfect example here. This was a little weird, but we got the pump into it, but then we sold. So it's just something to be mindful of. Okay. We got the equinox today, so let's see if they change it up. But you see this channel here, we are due for a bounce, but we can still sell a little bit, and then you get the point, I'm sure. So I'll see you on the train next week. Hopefully this video gave you some good insight and some good tips. Have a good one.